The call to worship in Psalm 95 isn't simply an invitation to participate in the activity of joyful thanksgiving to God. It is a command to be a certain kind of person. Two kinds of people are described in Psalm 95. Some recognize who God is and bow down in joyful reverence before Him. They listen to God as one who reveals the recipe for human flourishing, one who cares for them as a good shepherd protects his flock. Others refuse to listen to God. They ignore their consciences and harden their hearts. To them, God will say at the end of their earthly journey, in the words of Matthew 25:41, "Depart from me, you cursed, into eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels." All right. So what we do with the message of Psalm 95 will determine our present lives and seal our eternity. Very crucial message. So it shouldn't surprise us that God's invitation to be worshipers in Psalm 95 is beautiful and festive. He commands us to live exactly the kind of life that resonates with our highest ideals of happiness and security. God promises to be our rock in a shifting world, verse 1. His rule is greater than that of the surest leaders, verse 3. If God had hands, His fingers would be involved in everything that happens in the world He made, as verse 4 and 5 says. And no matter how vast the universe He has made and still controls, those who submit to Him are like the numbered sheep of a strong and kind shepherd. So what is the proper reaction to this truth? Well, as verse 1 says, sing. Be thankful, verse 2. Shout. Cheerfully submit to God, verse 6. Live as God's people should. But that's not how the psalm ends. It's maybe how we might have ended an invitation to worship God. In fact, we might be uncomfortable ending a song on a threat, as Psalm 95 does. But in God's genius, the placement of the threat is masterful. The song of Psalm 95 overall throbs with joy and gratitude and comfort. The first 2/3 of the song are overwhelmingly positive. And so the ominous ending makes a strong point without dominating the psalm. And here's the point. Every time we hear God's voice, we have an opportunity to do like the Israelites in the wilderness and harden our hearts. But God reminds us here that to do so is disastrous. The Israelites tested God. They called His bluff and found that He wasn't bluffing, and an entire generation died as strangers to the land of promise. The God who invites us to cheerfully and joyfully submit to Him makes this point using the disastrous results that the Israelites experienced. Don't let that be you. Let's listen to Psalm 95. O come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come into His presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to Him with songs of praise. For the Lord is a great God and a great King above all gods. In His hand are the depths of the earth. The heights of the mountains are His also. The sea is His, for He made it, and His hands formed the dry land. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For He is our God, and we are the people of His pasture and the sheep of His hand. Today, if you hear His voice, do not harden your hearts as at Meribah, as on the day at Massah in the wilderness, when your fathers put me to the test and put me to the proof, though they had seen my work. For 40 years I loathed that generation and said, they are a people who go astray in their heart, and they have not known my ways. Therefore I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter my rest.